Hi YouTube, welcome back to another video from Wtf Rc Cars. So, we've got something for the Kyosho Gt2 VE, and it's a carbon fibre front shock tower. So, it's quite nicely made. See if I can get you a good shot of it before we fit it, when we come in for a close-up. But, let's get this fitted. Right, so, that's a nice carbon shock mount. And we're going to be replacing this plastic one. So first thing we're going to need to do is remove the front shocks. So let's get these off. And this is a 2.5mm, and then just the little nut on the back. So we're going to remove one of these tiny little nuts, bolt the shock out. See if I can get something to hold the RC up. It's going to make it a bit easier. So as you remove the shocks, you've just got the nut on the back, and then the screw goes straight through. So that'll get these two off. And I've never actually taken the shock mount off on this car, so it'd be interesting to see what we actually have to do. Right, next we're going to have to remove the body post mount by the looks of it. And these are straight underneath this bit. So we've got two of those, one at either side. So rather than just the standard hex head, you've got normal screws thrown in with it all over. So you can see both those screws just go straight through this mount into the bulkhead. Right, next looks like we've got two screws that come through to hold the front bumper. And so far it's not looking too bad of a job to do. Stripped it down to the point where we're removing the shock mount. So if we remove those two screws and the spacers, and then we've got two more screws in the middle. These are quite short, and they're not too coarse thread on them either. And then we've got a small screw at either side at the top. See if we've got a better fit screwdriver. Yeah, that's better. And these go all the way through to basically act as hinge pins for your top A-arms. But so far, no nasty surprises. And then we've got two more screws right down at the bottom. So let's see if we're going to have to take anything else off to get to these. Might be lucky. Might be able to just get them up the side of the bulkhead cover. And I think by the looks of these are the last ones we'll have to remove. And they're certainly not as long as the ones that go all the way through all this. These are far easier to shear off. So once we've got both them out, we should just be able to bring this forward and it comes off. And as you can see, we've got exactly the same thickness exactly the same layout, so they've done a really really nice job of reproducing these in carbon fibre. Then I'm going to start by trying to get the bottom screws in first. So I'm going to get one started and try and get this second one in. More of a pain than it actually is. But as usual, when I'm fitting after parts to an RC, rather than tighten these screws all the way down, I'm just going to see how things actually line up first. So let's see what position these line up in. So that's one at A-arm pins in. I think these are set up in the higher position. Yeah. So it looks like we're good to tighten these down. And as you tighten these down, you just want to keep checking, make sure nothing's binding. So we're not binding and nothing's too loose. So we can nip the bottom ones back up now. Right, now I'm going to see how these line up for the front bumper. I must admit, these for the front bumper was a part that I were concerned about, because I couldn't see how they originally screw in. It looks like they're actually threaded into the original plastic one, so I wasn't really sure how these were going to screw in to the carbon part, but it does look like they fit quite well. You just want to make sure you don't over tighten them and crush them. Yeah, it doesn't look like they need to be tightened down too far at all. So, let's see if we can get these two lined back up now. So far so good. Not getting any weird awkward fitments. Nothing struggling to line back up. Right, let's get the body mount lined up. See if we can get this back on. It looks like them screws are happy to go back in position they came from. Right, so finally, make sure your drive shafts aren't falling out or anything. And we should be able to line his shock towers back up and get the front shock mounts back on. And to be totally honest, other than not being a massive fan of the heads that Kyosho use on the screws. I'd much prefer them all to be hex head or Allen key, but that's not a bad job. I'd say it's quite an easy task to fit it. So that's the front carbon tower fitted, and it does look really nice. That's the original one for comparison, so you can see it's about as thick. But let's wrap this one up. Right, so there you have it. Front shock tower in carbon fitted on the Kyosho GT2 VE. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to share to friends and family or anyone else that you might find it useful. And stay tuned for some more mods for the Kyosho. I'll catch you guys again in the next one.